Vegas, June the 6th, D-Day Dynamite. The Don King Sports and Entertainment Network presents the light heavyweight boxing championship of the world. Michael Spinks, 26-0, putting his crown on the line against the challenger, unbeaten Jim McDonald. The WBC Cruiserweight champion, Carlos Sugar de Leon, puts his crown up against Alfonzo Ratliff. Here in Las Vegas on D-Day from the Riviera Hotel and Casino. Sponsored by Miller Beer. Miller made the American way since 1855. And when it comes to taste and refreshment time after time, it's Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. And by Honda Power Equipment, lawnmowers, lawn tractors, and portable generators made easy and made to last.
I'm Sherman Hemsley, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this exciting night of boxing. And a special hi to my buddies in Philly at station WTAS. As most of you know, this day, the 6th of June, stands out in its importance in the history of the world in this great country of ours. D-Day, the invasion of Europe. And we are dedicating this evening to all the veterans who were involved on that great day. In conjunction with that, we have invited 2,000 Marines and their renowned drum and bugle corps who will play our national anthem this evening. They are waiting for the fight to begin. So, stand by, Don Chevalier. Let's get this show on the road.
All right, Sherman, and thank you. I'd like you to meet the men working with me at ringside tonight for some championship boxing live. Angelo Dundee, the veteran fight trainer, and the former welterweight champion, Carlos Palomino. Welcome, gentlemen. Should be a good night. Of course, we're all counting down to Michael Spinks' defense, and he's somewhat of a mystery in many ways because he hasn't fought that much. He's had some breaks along the way, but there's no denying he's one of two undisputed reigning world champions, along with Marvin Hagler. But here is the first bout tonight live. Carlos de Leon from Puerto Rico against Chicago's 29-year-old Alfonzo Ratliff. It's the WBC Cruiserweight Championship. That's a fairly recent event between 176 and 195. Now let's go to Chaka, the ring announcer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Superstar Theater of the Riviera Hotel and Casino, where tonight Don King Productions, in association with the Riviera Hotel, presents D-Day Dynamite, a World Championship doubleheader. These bouts are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Sig Rogich, Chairman, Harold Buck, Executive Secretary, with commissioners in attendance at ringside, Mr. Dwayne Ford, Mr. Art Lurie, Mr. Sammy Macias, and Mr. Freddie Little. The officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for this next bout of the evening. The judges are Jerry Roth of Nevada, Ray Solis of Mexico, and Angel Luis Guzman of Puerto Rico. Your referee is Carlos Padilla. This is a clear main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC World Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing, in the blue corner, the challenger, rated number 1 by the World Boxing Council, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, weighing 192 1/2 pounds, with a professional record of 19 wins, 2 defeats, and 15 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the challenger, Alfonzo Ratliff. And in the red corner, from Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico, weighing 187 3/4 pounds. His professional record consists of 38 wins, 2 defeats, 1 draw, with 26 KOs. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is the World Cruiserweight Champion, Carlos Sugar de Leon.
And here's how they compare. Considered to be a very, very fine champion. De Leon is 26 years of age, but he gives away a lot of height, and he gives away a mammoth amount of reach. In fact, Ratliff is within half an inch of the reach that the now legendary Primo Carnera had. 85 inches. The longer reach. Lee, as you know, Angelo had a long one. Larry Holmes, well, this man's got the long reach. What else does he have?
Well, he's got determination. I had a talk with him, and man, he wants it badly. And the only thing I look at is that maybe he wanted too much and just try too hard too early.
Yeah, that's possible, as you know, in title fights, Carlos, that you can press and get yourself in trouble early.
That's right. I also spoke to him, and it's interesting that his only losses have been to heavyweights, so that's very interesting. It's a cruiserweight fight, so.
Well, a couple of good heavyweights, too. One that Angelo's been here training, Pinklin Thomas, for his upcoming fight on the 15th right here in Las Vegas against Mike Weaver. He lost to him, and he also lost to the man that Thomas will fight, Tim Witherspoon. So if those are your only two defeats, you've got some credibility going for you.
That's right, a champion and a former champion.
This is scheduled for 12 rounds. The WBC World Cruiserweight Championship, as I said, it range between 176 to 195. And Ratliff snaps out of there in a hurry. The dancing by the rhythmic De Leon from Puerto Rico as he circles around the ring. His nickname is Sugar.
Carlos, the interesting thing is that these shoes just arrived today for Ratliff. I told him it's a no-no to wear new shoes the night of a fight. So I'm going to see if there's going to be any problem because those shoes are heavy as the devil.
And there was a bit of a dispute over the kind of gloves they're going to wear, too, before the fight. They got that straightened away. Now they're in there for 12 rounds to determine the Cruiserweight Championship. Man in the middle, referee is Carlos Padilla.
Featherweight, he bounced like a rock.
The better balances with the champion, Sugar De Leon, as you can see. Ratliff's always had a problem with his balance when he spreads his legs way open.
Which he does.
Which is a no-no, and he can get nailed with a left hook very easily.
Looks like a batter in baseball with a wide batting stance. He's got those long arms. So far, we have not seen him take real advantage of that by sticking out a jab or trying to get any kind of authority established here in the first round. Coming up on the midway mark now.
De Leon will do this. I think probably all 12 rounds he'll move, use his jab, and try to set that right hand up. Ratliff at this point looks very tight to me. It could be, a championship caliber fight, but he looks tight.
Well, he's coming forward, but not doing a great deal. And De Leon is content to move backward and in a circular fashion around this Riviera Hotel ring here in Las Vegas without incurring much damage so far.
Don, you notice the height is not that big a deal or that big a difference, and the reach is not that big a difference because the man's not jabbing. So what's a long reach if you don't
use it? That's what I was saying earlier. That jab should be his principal weapon to get things established for those long arms. 9 inches longer than his opponent, the champion. But the champion is so fluid and can move as we're inside a minute now of time remaining. Ratliff bangs twice to the body as they were in a clinch.
That left hook was almost pay dirt, Carlos.
That's right.
He just barely missed it because the guy was really set up for it.
There's the jab by De Leon coming out now as Ratliff misses with the right hand. Good hook thrown by the champion De Leon. Less than 20 seconds to go in the first round. And the champion looks very, very much in control against this man with the longer arms, unwilling or unable to use them so far, and this the first of 12 scheduled rounds.
There's still a place where you're free to test your limits, to go as far as you can. A place where beer is beer, and the brand is Miller. Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste. Miller's made the American way.
In the showdown between the colas, one fact stands clear. One cola's changed, and one cola's chosen. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Thank you.
Round 2, WBC World Cruiserweight Championship. With you live from Las Vegas, Don Chevrier with Angelo Dundee, Carlos Palomino. And a great contrast in style and an evident contrast in ability in that first round. De Leon, the champion, looking much the best from every aspect in terms of boxing skill. Hammers him there with a good shot.
He was asking for that because he was reaching with the jab. He should have been snapping the jab. He's not snapping his jab. He's not setting any kind of attack for De Leon. De Leon will have a picnic unless he changes his style completely.
You know, besides being very stiff, he's following De Leon around instead of cutting the ring off with that jab and stepping in with the jab in the right hand.
Exactly.
Like you say, he's laying the right hand, the jab out there, and he's going to get hit with that right hand over the jab.
Bangs away now with the right. Look at De Leon with a left hand down by the bottom of his trunks there. He snaps it up with much greater hand speed than does the challenger from Chicago, Alfonzo Ratliff. He's lost for twice in his career, a record of 19-2. The champion, 38-2-1 with 25 knockouts.
I'm glad that neither one of these fighters is banging into the ropes because these ropes are bad. They're loose as a goose. It looks like the heat from the lights have definitely stretched them. So I think you're going to have to tighten these ropes because they're in real bad shape right now.
Well, you mentioned the heat also. It's fairly comfortable inside here in the Riviera, but outside it went upwards of 105 degrees here in Las Vegas. They're looking for a temperature of 110 here tomorrow. So the heat wave, in fact, summer has arrived in Las Vegas.
Carlos, that was a great appraisal of what's happened. He's playing ring around a rosy, but De Leon, instead of cutting them off, he's just walking straight at him, and he's just not even cutting them off at all.
Exactly.
He's kind of playing follow the leader in reverse.
You know, De Leon is moving towards his right hand. I think what he needs to do is step in with a jab and throw that right hand to the body and possibly could set something else up with that. But right now he's just following him around and not doing much else.
Ratliff tried to set up a combination, delivers a series of blows there. But as we've seen before, in the first round, now in the second round, there's no comparison in terms of hand speed, is there?
No, the quicker guy is the champion, and the champion better not get lazy, though, because he's Ratliff will definitely chase him all over the joint, and he's game as they come.
It's a big opportunity for Ratliff. Who knows? He might have done some harm to his career fighting the likes of Thomas and Witherspoon. He didn't exactly go down in the first round. He hung around for a while with them. Certainly a couple of respectable losses, but they feel this is his best category, the Cruiserweight division. He's been trying to do a little bit more coming forward in the final minute of this round than he has so far in the fight. But again, De Leon, the champion, still very much in command here as we approach.
Duo Spice Solid keeps guys so much drier, they just might give up their men in antiperspirant mid-stick.
Hey, Bronco, here's a present.
Alfonzo Ratliff coming out for the third round against the champion of the Cruiserweight division, Carlos De Leon of Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico. And you wouldn't recognize this man a few years ago, Ratliff. He weighed 263 pounds. Now at Cruiserweight at less than 195.
Don, before we get off between the rounds, you said something very sharp because you said two heavyweight fights took an awful lot out of Alfonzo Ratliff. He's not have the speed to contain the champion right now.
Now he's got De Leon tied up for the first time in the bout over on the rope, but is taking it to him. Looking more impressive here than he has thus far. The challenger Ratliff putting on a spurt and a flurry early in this third round.
Well, the corner told him to jump all over him, Don. That's the only shot he's got, what he's doing right now.
Using those long arms to score with a fine combination there. He may have been a little tight the first couple of rounds. Maybe he's got his bearings in there now. He's forcing De Leon to fight from off the ropes in a counter-punching position.
De Leon has no business being on the ropes with this guy. He should be moving, using that jab, and setting up his right hand and left hook. But he's standing on the ropes, taking punishment right now, and that's
a looping right, another one thrown by the challenger Ratliff. De Leon seems quite content to stay there, but he's paying a price. Couple of snapping left hooks. There's more spring now in the punches of Ratliff, Angelo.
Well, naturally, and Carlos hit it right in the button. He don't belong on the ropes. He should be turning and spinning. The bigger guy is Ratliff. De Leon's a smaller cruiser than Ratliff.
De Leon 187 187 3/4, and Ratliff about 5 pounds heavier. Now Ratliff is certainly gaining momentum and confidence as he goes through this third round. He's going to find first couple of minutes of it. He's taken the action to the champion, who easily won the first two, but Ratliff on his way to winning this the third round, and rather convincingly at that.
There he is against the ropes where he should not be. You know, I talked to De Leon prior to this fight, and he told me that he wants to go up and fight heavyweight. I think that he's making a mistake. He thinks that if he stays in there, it shows that he can fight a heavyweight. He'll get a shot at one of the big boys, and he's making a big mistake right now.
Well, it's a tough spot to be in, this cruiserweight division, because in his case, you got to drop 12 pounds to become a light heavyweight, and it's a long way up to become a heavyweight. So what do you do? Right now, he's just trying to hang on to his title against Ratliff from Chicago, the WBC's #1 contender. As we have less than 15 seconds to go in the third round, as the referee Padilla will adjust the glove of Ratliff. So at the end of this round now, we're going to pause for a word from your local station.
Sending these parts to all parts of the country overnight was costing me a fortune until I switched my overnight express to Pendulator Courier.
Purelator Courier.
Right. I save plenty in the long run, up to 39% in the short run with Populator Courier.
Purelator Courier.
Huh?
People remember Purelator Courier's low prices and great service, but they have a little trouble with their name.
Thanks, Percolator.
Purelator!
If you want to save money and get great service, remember Purelator Courier.
Radio Vice from 102.7 WNEW FM, the Morning Squad, freeing the streets of the same old radio to bring you rock and roll with a bite. Weekday morning 6 to 10, it's your first choice for rock and roll. WNEW FM 102.7, Richard Neer, Mark McEwen, and Lisa Glassberg. Don't miss the boat, WNEW FM, where rock lives.
Underway at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas. A crowd including 2,000 Marines brought here by matchmaker Don King, enjoying what they've seen so far, especially with the challenger Ratliff turning it on to make this an interesting bout in the third round.
They're telling De Leon exactly what I've been saying. Don't stay on the ropes, jab, and step to the side. Let's see if he follows instructions.
Well, I'm glad you said that because they were speaking in Spanish. I didn't know what they were talking about over there, but I assumed they pointed out to him.
Well, they were telling him exactly, stay off the ropes. Don't stay still. Just keep moving and keep him turning. Only thing I didn't like about De Leon, he's laying down in the corner like he's going through a picnic. Legs stretched out, laying back on the ropes. Man, he better get on with it. He's going to wind up losing his title fighting the way he is right now.
They may have overestimated this man. He's fought some outstanding cruiserweight challengers. He may be taking Ratliff a little lightly, and the third round told us you can't afford to do that. Now he comes forward with a couple of jabs to the face of the challenger.
Well, Ratliff's a legitimate heavyweight who decided to come down to the cruiserweight. Started off at 216 pounds, and he came down to the 190 limit. Right now he's putting the pressure on and making De Leon back up. And
he sure is making him back up with those long looping shots to left, especially now the jab comes through. Ratliff, a totally different fighter from what we saw in the first couple of rounds here. And this is really opening up.
He's starting to get loose. He's starting to pressure him more. It's the only shot he's got fighting like that.
And I think that De Leon is opening the door for him because De Leon is not fighting back. He's not using the jab. He's not setting anything up. He's going to the ropes. And that's where he's going to get hurt.
Ratliff, too, showing us a good variety of punches, too. He'll hook, he'll jab, he'll throw the overhand right, he'll jam the uppercut in, he'll work to the body. He's throwing just about his entire arsenal here. A good start to this fourth round, now more than 2 minutes old.
You know, Carlos, my fighter, Pickler Thomas, told me, he said, this is one tough hombre. He said he keeps coming, he tries, and he's very strong. And I think De Leon's feeling the pressure from this guy.
That's right. It really seems like he is. And De Leon doesn't seem like he went in with a real good gas tank. Filled to the top, I mean. He seems to be kind of walking around the ring now.
He's got to go back to that service station in the corner every round. Try to top it up a little bit. Now 15 seconds remaining in the fourth round. You'd have to give this to the challenger as well as the third. After the champion, Carlos De Leon, won a couple of fairly lackluster opening rounds.
Cut.
There's a cut for the first time appearing on the eyebrow of Ratliff.
Vietnam. When it was over, 58,022 never made it back. And America is still asking why. Time Life Books and Boston Publishing bring you the Vietnam Experience. These are the books that let you feel what it was like to be there. Join the men who fought as bravely as any Americans, who won every major battle, yet came home to no parades. Call now. Beginning with America Takes Over, each book lets you re-examine those years. The Vietnam Experience. Only now can we begin to understand a war that took 58,022 lives. A war that is still touching us all.
To order your first book, call now 1-800-441-2727. It'll be sent to you free for 10 days. Keep it and pay just $14.95 plus shipping and handling. Others will follow about one every other month. Keep the ones you want. Cancel anytime. So call now.
This is the fifth round. The WBC World Cruiserweight Championship is on the line, and on the line it is. As a very hungry, suddenly aroused challenger with a tentative start behind him in the first two rounds, Alfonzo Ratliff has taken it to the champion Carlos De Leon in rounds 3 and 4 and won those two.
That last round, that De Leon corner is going to run out of water from their buckets because they really gave him a bath. He's doing a drip job out of his trunks. The cut was taken care of by the corner of Ratliff. Bill presents a real good cut guy, and he's got the cut stopped.
Looks to be a very small cut just beside the right eye of the challenger Ratliff in the black trunks. I wondered for a while watching Ratliff start this fight because he was quoted as saying this week, I have the best jab in the history of boxing, and I was chuckling as he went through those first two rounds, but the jab and everything else looks a lot better now. May not be the best in the history of the game, though.
I think that Leon would have been happy if he had kept fighting the way he was fighting the first two, because I think this fight right now is dead even.
I agree with you. Carlos, what do you think?
Exactly. Ratliff is starting to use his jab and starting to put some combinations together. I think that the cut is just reopened, and that might give him some problems.
And De Leon with the left hand works on that, and the action just above us here, ringside at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas as we now approach the midway point of round number 5. Remains to be seen how troublesome that cut will be, but more blood now pouring from the right side of Ratliff's face.
Ratliff really took some real good shots there, and he wobbled with a couple of them.
De Leon coming on a lot tougher now, and no doubt knows that he has to. The challenger with the long arms working in close now, and now he backs away to give himself some distance, a little over a minute to go in the fifth round. But De Leon knows he's in a fight, and obviously now knows what he has to do to keep this championship.
It's become a fight instead of a boxing match.
Sure has. All of a sudden.
Both fighters are trying to open the glove and put it on their head, and I do the referee's going to jump on both of them. They're both open their gloves, which is a no-no.
Well, Carlos Padilla does his job and cautions the two of them. Snapping left hook, a good one thrown by the champion De Leon. Now it is the challenger Ratliff on the ropes, where the champion was most of round 3 and round 4. But from a boxing match, as Carlos Palomino said, it has turned into a brawl, and a pretty good one here as we get down to the final few seconds of the fifth round. It is scheduled for 12. The WBC World Cruiserweight Championship at stake here in Las Vegas tonight. Stay with us.
The Honda Motor Company has been improving transportation for over 30 years. There are Hondas that ride in the street, Hondas that ride in the dirt, and now, Hondas that ride on the grass. Introducing the Honda Lawn Tractor. Test drive one at your Honda Lawn and Garden dealer.
You know this crew gets heartburn, and when they do, there's no time to stop. No wonder so many people take Rolaids. Like a sponge, Rolaids antacid medicine consumes 100% of the acid required to give millions 100% relief. With Rolaids, you can keep going. Rolaids. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
And now, there's sodium-free Rolaids for sodium-free relief.
The sixth round is underway. We noticed a couple of rounds ago, and again in the last round, the cut beside the right eye of the challenger, and now De Leon has one opened up on him late in that last round. Again near the eye.
He's got a worse cut. Carlos and I both noticed it. It's the inside of the eye.
That's right. He laid against the ropes at the end of that last one and took some vicious uppercuts, and I think that's when the cut happened. I mean, the man, all he has to do is move, use his jab, and throw combinations and stay on the outside, and he's laying on the ropes, taking punishment that he should not be taken.
Well, the cut man has done a marvelous job. You would not know that really the one on De Leon exists. Ratliff, of course, you see the substance there to try to contain it.
De Leon's eye is starting to run pretty good. Inside, you're going to notice it right away. Ratliff's cut's been well contained by both present. De Leon better stop laying in those clinches. De Leon better start moving. De Leon better start doing something because that's a vicious cut on his eye.
He's certainly got more snap in his punches now. They're coming quicker, and they are more abundant than they were in the earlier part of the bout, but he has got a battle on his hands here as we get down near the midway mark of this the sixth round.
Carlos, you had a guy spread like Ratliff. Would you stay in one spot? When you move and play side to side, play checkers?
That's it, exactly. And that's what he has to do with that cut is move and choose that jab and not stand there and trade punches because that cut is, like you said, is a vicious cut.
And it opens up again now with that shot right there.
And it's starting to bleed very badly.
Yes, bleeding quite profusely now. The cut. The eye of the champion, Carlos De Leon. Ratliff's cut is fine at the moment. But as he turns, you can see the blood from the left side of the face there. It's right up there in the eyelid.
And he's also bleeding from the nose, Carlos. That's a mark to me. You know, the guy maybe has a slight cold. Maybe he's not the best of condition.
And, you know, it looks like Ratliff just smells it. He just picked up the pace a little bit, and he's starting to work the jab and work the body and then bring it up.
Yeah, the first two rounds were simply training camp for Ratliff. Now he is turning it loose, looking very impressive again in this round with his hands, and of course the cut on the eye of De Leon is a big factor to become bigger unless it gets completely stopped. I don't know how they can stop it now. The cut, that is. Good looping right hand by the challenger Ratliff as De Leon responds with one of his own. We're inside the final 10 seconds of round number 6. And at the bell here for the sixth round, we'll pause for a word from your local station.
This is the symbol of excellence in overnight delivery.
Art, you'll have them for the game tomorrow. Don't worry. Hey, and sink one for me, huh?
This is express mail next day service from the post office. Our 2-pound pack is just $10.75, about half what most others charge. And when you need it there tomorrow, we deliver.
Marcon sinks it to win 91.90.
Express mail service. We deliver excellence for less.
Your dashboard tells you about almost all the vital signs of your car. Yet most dashboards can't tell you about your transmission. Lee Miles can. Our exclusive $10.95 transmission protection service will replace the pan gasket, clean the screen, adjust bands if needed, adjust linkage, even change the transmission fluid. Just because your dashboard ignores your transmission doesn't mean your transmission should be ignored.
Seventh round underway. Some furious work in that corner on that cut, the eyelid of De Leon.
Well, it was Amateurville and Dixie. The only guy who was doing a good number name was Johnny Taco. He was working on a cut, and De Leon's mouthpiece was dropped on the floor. Lucky that Taco found the mouthpiece.
And Ratliff smells his victory. He's coming to get it. He's going after that cut with his right hand.
And this crowd here, including 2,000 Marines, really into this bout as the blood begins to pour from the left eye of the champion, Carlos De Leon again. Ratliff, seeing the blood, I'm sure, is inspired all the more, knowing that he has stung this man and created a potential problem for the champion.
And De Leon is making another mistake. He's going towards Ratliff's right hand. And that's why he's getting hit with that right hand. He's going right to it instead of moving opposite where he should be doing like he just did.
Just shifts his movement there now. With the majority of punches and their solid blows, many of them only the odd one getting blocked for the gloves of the champion De Leon. Ratliff's been on a roll here since the third round. De Leon might have won the fifth. Sixth round of Ratliff, but this is the seventh. He may be slightly ahead at this stage.
No doubt that Ratliff's ahead. I think that the more it goes, Ratliff's going to get better and better. De Leon's going to look for one big punch, and that cut is definitely bothering him.
Yes, he rubs at it. No sign of any further trouble from the more superficial cut sustained by Ratliff about 3 rounds ago. But a different story for De Leon as you see the blood pouring from around the left eye. And it is bothering him, as Angelo Dundee told you. We now have a minute to go in the 7th round. It's been mostly Ratliff again.
Ratliff just did a no-no. He blew his nose. It definitely shouldn't do that when you're fighting, and especially this kind of a fight. Because if one of the eyes closed on him, he's going to have a big disadvantage.
De Leon is doing, I think, what he has to do right now to survive this fight and hope that his corner can stop that cut. He's moving, he's using his jab, and he's staying away.
Well, after a while, after constant abuse, it becomes a question as to what the corner can do, how long they can keep that together.
De Leon's doing his
after
thing.
this.
De Leon's doing his thing. He's boxing down. He's got to box. Otherwise, it's going to get licked.
And move, as he is doing now. The long arm of Ratliff comes out again with that lunging jab to the face of the champion, Carlos De Leon. As the seconds wind down, in this, the 7th round scheduled for 12.
I have taken on many fighters and tried many beers. One beer isn't a class by itself. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling. It weighs in at a third less calories than the regular beer. Yes, I discovered your greatest beer, but I never met your greatest fighter. Hey, who is this Billy Martin anyway?
Billy Martin? He's warm, he's gentle, good looking too.
I got to meet this guy.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies, a Richard Donner film.
Start of the tunnel. I don't want to go in anymore, you crazy Goonies adventure.
They've stumbled onto a legend,
And they got chocolate eruption.
but they're not alone.
They're coming up.
The Goonies, rated PG. Join the adventure June 7th at a theater near you.
Ready for round number 8. The WBC World Cruiserweight Championship on the line. An exclusive live presentation coming to you from the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas tonight. Carlos De Leon in some difficulty in defense of his championship against Alfonzo Ratliff.
Taco Fratell's got that cut a little bit under control. That last round, he put some more pressure on it, put the medicine into it. He's starting to control it, Carlos. So just long, but any good shots will reopen it.
You know, and he's fighting now the way he should have been fighting all along. He got in trouble when he got on the ropes and he got the cut. Because of the cut, he's gone back to boxing, using his speed, using his jab, and that's what he should have been doing all along.
As a result, the champion's playing catch-up here against an aggressive challenger who took the action to him from the 3rd round on.
Ratliff's got another cut over his left eye. So Bill Present's going to have to get his work cut out for him. That's 2 cuts.
The previous one is still holding up fairly well and has for about 4 rounds now. Good hook. Rock De Leon set him back a couple of steps. He was stunned by that shot, and a good chopping right hand follows the left and the right as they tie up.
Ratliff knows he's got to go for broke. That's a very bad cut on his left eye. Much worse than De Leon's.
That eye showing signs of closing on him now a little bit. Ratliff, we're speaking of, the challenger, so he did go to work.
Can't blow that nose. That's what does it.
His eye is starting to swell and it's starting to shut on him now. And De Leon is now jabbing at it. He's going for it.
And by contrast, the more serious-looking cut previously, that of De Leon, is holding up nicely here, although it's opening up a little bit now, late in this round, a little over a minute to go.
Gauze came loose out of the glove. That happens a lot of times, though. Sometimes by accident or somebody wants to do that. I wonder why.
Both hands utilized well with speed by Ratliff. He said this week he will not let this opportunity for a world title slip through his hand.
Ratliff told me he never worked harder or got in better shape for any fight, and he's showing it because condition's going to win this fight, Carlos.
That's right. They're both throwing a lot of punches now. It's become a war.
De Leon's the better banker, Carlos, but Ratliff is throwing more punches than De Leon.
Both men will have to be attended to by the cut men in their respective corners after this 8th round is completed. But it's been a pretty strong round again for the challenger, Alfonzo Ratliff, taking it to De Leon, the reigning champion.
Ryder presents a moving tribute to those industrious few who saved money by renting a truck from somebody else. The Brewbakers from Akron who saved $14.50 moving to Topeka. Stanley Helms who saved $8 moving from Tulsa to Reno. The Willises who saved $6.95 on their move to Seattle. And finally, to the Blevins family, who saved a grand total of $13 and found out, like they all did, that it's Ryder or it's wrong.
Who's been using my razor? Mine burns me. Don't blame your razor. Use my Ice Blue Aqua Velva.
It turns red-hot razor burn to cool comfort. Smooths, too.
My Aqua Velva Men.
There's something about an Ice Blue Aqua Velva Man.
Grow a beard, huh? Not under my roof. But, Dad, this electric razor is rough on my face. Try Electric Shave. It sets up your beard so whiskers stand up and your razor glides. Electric Shave! That's for an electric razor what leather does for a blade.
The 9th round from Las Vegas. I'm Don Chevrier with Angelo Dundee and Carlos Palomino with you as we watch the WBC World Cruiserweight Championship unfold. Up for grabs right now, but a very aggressive challenger continues to take it with both hands to the champion, De Leon.
They better fix that gauze so they're giving De Leon more time to rest.
It's a lesson for the young pros and young amateurs who are watching this. When you have the tools and boxing ability of De Leon, you don't get on the ropes and take shots like he did in this fight.
He has made a great many mistakes tonight, and now in these final rounds, as you said, conditioning may win this fight. That may be the test to determine if he keeps his championship. There's no question about the desire of this challenger, Ratliff, and his ability.
Ratliff is doing a better number now. He's putting his hands up when De Leon looks to lean in and nail a left hook.
Ratliff bothered by his left eye, as De Leon has been by his. Which left eye will be the better of the two at the end of this bout?
De Leon's corner is telling him to move, because it's the only way he's going to get away from a Ratliff, because he's really determined. The better balance is naturally De Leon, but Ratliff is really doing a number on him by banging him.
I want to welcome our good friends Angelo at Channel 9 WOR-TV in New York City with us on the network tonight. We're watching Boxing Live from Las Vegas, and these two cruiserweights have opened this show up with a flourish.
Determination and desire sometimes will make up for a lot of lack of talent, let me tell you. And Ratliff definitely wants this title. He's showing here that he wants it. He wants to win.
Yeah, there's no question De Leon possesses the greater skills, the greater mobility in the ring, but that desire and that ongoing assault that Ratliff has taken to De Leon has made its mark here and made a difference in this bout, perhaps. 45 seconds to go in the 9th round. The long arms now are respected by the champion. There was no punch to them before in the early minutes of this bout from Ratliff, but that has all changed a long time ago.
Now, both cuts on Ratliff have been stopped. I mean, Presenter's done a real good job. With De Leon, eye still bleeding.
And on it goes. Now you see the blood streaming down the left side of the champion's face, Carlos De Leon from Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico. Looking more awkward now than he has at any other time in this bout. He was stung early in this round by the challenger, Ratliff. We're winding down the time in round 9, and at the bell, we'll pause for a word from your local station.
In Canada, where this is considered...
Ready for the 10th round. They want the time stopped as they started a loose lace again on that glove.
And all that's doing is helping our friend over here, because the gas tank's running dry on him.
That's right. You know, they're telling him in the corner to use the jab and throw combinations of 4 punches, and he's asking for water.
And we saw on the face of Ratliff calm determination, might best describe it, as he spent the final few seconds on his stool waiting for this 10th round. He looks very much in command of this stage, the challenger.
You know, Don, when you say very much in command, I always hesitate before I say that, because I don't know what those guys are scoring to fight. We're looking at one, they might be looking at another one.
Well, what I mean by that is he's well within himself. He's doing his own thing now. He's moving with confidence and moving aggressively in the ring, and he's certainly doing his part to win this bout.
And he's cutting the ring off instead of following De Leon around. He's starting to step in front of him, which he has to do.
A little Thursday night wrestling going on right now.
De Leon just pulled a good number. Grabbed the rope with the left, grabbed the rope with the right. He did a real good number in there. And you know, Don, our camera guys are really doing a heck of a number. You know, real close up and watching them grab.
It is getting rougher as it continues near the halfway mark of the 10th round. A couple of tough customers in pursuit of the WBC Cruiserweight Championship.
You know, I think if Ratliff threw a jab, faked the right hand, and came in with a left hook, De Leon will run right into that left hook.
And De Leon is really, really in bad shape, because first time he's showing like he's out of gas. And if Ratliff does any kind of an attack right now, it won't surprise me to see De Leon go down.
He really has slowed up appreciably here in this 10th round. Ratliff the right, the left, then the right again. Left hook he follows with.
And De Leon, who takes a real good shot, wobble for the first time. Backing off. The legs were unsteady.
Not a good round for the champion. They've got 2 left after this if it goes the limit to decide this title. Tee-off time for Ratliff here, and the ropes above us. Blood again from the eye of De Leon. Fires a good left hand at the challenger as Ratliff comes back and misses with his left uppercut. Hard shot to the body. Good left thrown by the champion to Ratliff's face. But you're right, Angelo. De Leon looking a little tired, although he's dancing now with a little bit of spirit as this round, the 10th, comes to an end.
I don't compete anymore, but I still pump iron. So after lifting a few hundred pounds, it's nice to lift one of these. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling with 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. Now, you know, bodybuilding is hard work, but having a great body has its advantages. It sure makes it easy to pick up guys. Hi, Rodney.
Oh, hi there. What's going on here? Hey, honey, how about a lift home, huh?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Spilled a cup of coffee, ruined a...
Hurts De Leon. Hitting him on the back. Hitting him anywhere he possibly can. De Leon just hanging on, Angelo.
He really is in sad shape. He really got hurt with that right hand behind the head and that right against the ropes. He's in real bad shape.
Good right thrown by Ratliff. De Leon moving ever so much more slowly now. The legs all the more stiff and leaden looking.
The cut is starting to bleed pretty bad now.
I don't think the cut's any consequence right now. I think the condition of De Leon is worse than the cut. And the other thing is, Ratliff's tired himself when he spit out his mouthpiece near the end of that round, which is a dead giveaway. So Ratliff is not that great a shape physically either.
He is coming at him with those long arms from long range and scoring with both hands.
And there might have been a reason why De Leon went to the ropes. He didn't seem to have to start off with a very good condition. After 4 or 5 rounds, he started leaning on the ropes, and that's when he got in trouble.
Halfway through this, the 11th round, scheduled for 12. Ratliff outscoring him 3-1 here in this round, maybe more. 1, 2, 3 more, and they're good scoring blows. Hard punches thrown by Alfonzo Ratliff. With a minute to go in the 11th round, he's all over De Leon and the ropes of others. Chopping right hands, telling the toll. De Leon paying the price, staying in that corner and taking punishment.
Ratliff is keeping him in the corner at this point with his shoulders and working the angle, throwing the hook, stepping to the other side, using the right hand uppercut. He's doing a job right now.
He has held him in there for the last 45 seconds. Unable to punch his way out. Counter punching now to the guard of Ratliff, which is lucid as he's been on the offensive. 20 seconds to go in the 11th round. A great 11th round for challenger Ratliff. Now De Leon counter punching as well as he has in this entire round from that permanent position on the ropes just above it. Great action here for the Cruiserweight Championship in Las Vegas. The 12th round coming right up.
Come on, boys. Come on.
In the universal search for great taste, it doesn't take a higher intelligence to figure out why one cola's changed and one cola's chosen. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
When the big U flows, America goes.
Still beautiful, Dad.
Took your brother through college, take you wherever you want to go.
On Quaker State.
Right. Smooth oil flow is what you want, protects the engine. See, Quaker State starts with Pennsylvania-grade crude, delivers stable viscosity.
You get great protection with the Big Q.
Hey, how come you know so much?
I'm listening to you.
Quaker State. The big U stands for quality. Always has, always will.
The 12th and final round, the WBC World Cruiserweight Championship, and it's been a great one. A slow starting Ratliff, the challenger, picking up the momentum and taking it from the 3rd round on.
If I were Ratliff, I'd just keep on grabbing and pushing and shoving him because the puncher is De Leon, and he's hitting some great shots.
Good right there by Ratliff, followed by a left, straight left to the jaw of the champion De Leon, and the blood appears in his left eye again. But as Angelo Dundee said, it's not the eye that's the problem, it's the strength, the remaining endurance and stamina of the champion that may be the telling factor, and has been at least for the last 2 rounds.
That's right, but you know, at the end of the last round, De Leon showed me a lot of guts. He fought very hard up the ropes. He's trying to come back, but as you say, his gas tank seems to be on E right now.
E and wavering. But he's got a lot of heart. He would not be a champion for this long without a lot of determination.
Here goes the gauze. Here goes another rest for De Leon.
That troublesome glove again needs attention as Padilla takes the challenger across to his corner.
The reason that happens, they don't tie the tape high enough to the top of the tape. I usually lace it down below. I don't mess around with the top.
Looping right hand, partially blocked by De Leon. De Leon wades in with the left hand of his own.
De Leon's not going to get him out of there with one shot. He's going to take a series of punches because that Ratliff is a really determined guy and he wants his title.
Well, it may go to the 3 judges, and in championship bouts, you know, it's got to be a pretty impressive performance before a champion will lose his title on points. But we could be looking at that kind of situation here tonight. Ratliff indeed has been impressive, but as Carlos said, the heart of De Leon, the champion, showed up in the final 30 seconds from off the ropes in the 11th round and is showing once again here in the 12th. A couple of very tired boxers into their final 45 seconds of this bout.
One good punch might turn this around, this last round, because they're both hurting each other.
Ratliff looks like he's on
unsteady legs.
Unsteady legs, very, very much so.
And so is De Leon.
I'll tell you this, they're both delighted it's not going 15. Ratliff with a good chopping right hand there as we're inside the final 20 seconds of the bout. 12th and final round, long looping right to the body thrown by the challenger, Alfonzo Ratliff, who has distinguished himself. He's taken it to De Leon here, and it looks very much now as though it'll go to the hands of the three ringside judges. We'll have the decision after a word from your local station.
Time takes you beyond the news.
Time flies, and you are there. Time cries.
The kinds of ability. Don King, the man who put these two together and the rest of the card together, the premier promoter in the nation, is with us now. You got a good start to the show, Don.
Yes, I did. That was a great show. I was just so happy. It's D-Day Dynamite. They're really doing a great job here, and I thought it was a terrific fight. Ratliff really proved himself tonight.
He looked like he was tentative for a couple of rounds, and then when he got the feel of things, he took it to the champion. Let's see which way the decision went. Chuck Hull, the ring announcer, has that for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the decision of the judges. We have a split decision. Judge Angel Luis Guzman scores 117 De Leon, 114 Ratliff. Judge Jerry Roth scores 116 Ratliff, 113 De Leon. And Judge Ray Solis scores 117, 114 for the winner and new.
So Alfonzo Ratliff, who promised he would not let this opportunity slip through his hands, made good on that promise tonight. The 29-year-old challenger from Chicago has unseated Carlos De Leon from Puerto Rico as the WBC Cruiserweight champion, and the Marines, who came in tonight 2000.